Welcome to OCP TV, the newsroom for the Open Compute Project Foundation. I'm Laura Noland at the 2020 OCP Virtual Summit. Joining me today is Ofer Weill, Director of Product Marketing at Drivenets. Welcome to OCP TV, Ofer.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me, Laura.
Well, tell our viewers about Drivenets and what you do.
Yes, sure. So Drivenet is a startup with a vision to change the way networks are built and operated. So our product, Network Cloud, is a disaggregated router. Now, the benefits of the disaggregation router is very known for sure, certainly for OCP members. Now, the benefits of the flexibility, the ability to you don't need to log into a specific vendor, even the lower cost just because you use white boxes. Now, the problem is that right now, the disaggregated solutions are limited to a single box, to a lower throughput solutions. And our Network Cloud solution is a disaggregated router that can scale to hundreds of terabits per second by using a cluster of white boxes. So what is Network Cloud? It's a disaggregated the hardware and the software. So we are Drivenets providing the software. The customer is buying the hardware directly from the ODMs. And it disaggregates the control plane from the data plane. So the control plane is running on x86 servers. The data plane is implemented with two types of white boxes. One is NCP, is like a line card, and the second is NCF, which is like a fabric card. Now, with these two building blocks, you can build a router at almost any scale. So you start with a single NCP of 4 terabits per second, and you just take one white box and use it as a router. But when you want to scale, you just bring more of these NCPs, more of these white boxes, and connect them with the NCF boxes, and you can create a router at almost any scale. At the maximum, it can reach at 768 terabits per second. And this is a huge number for a disaggregated solution. I don't think you have a chassis-based solution that can reach to this number. Now, the software, and we Drivenets provide the software, it's a cloud-native software based on microservices that run on containers, and these containers are distributed over these all white boxes. But even though this disaggregated router is based on multiple or dozens of white boxes or even hundreds of white boxes, it acts as a single router entity. So from a service provider, you have a single router built from all these white boxes. So as a service provider, as a cloud provider, you can take these two building blocks and use them everywhere in your network. You can start with a small in your access. You can take more boxes to build a larger cluster. So with only two building blocks, you can build a router at almost any scale.
Wow, very innovative, very exciting. So tell us how you are integrating into the Open Compute Project Foundation community. Why did you decide to become part of the community?
Sure. So from the day we started at Drivenets, we believe that the disaggregated solution must be open. Open means that the customer can choose the hardware and the software. You know, the disaggregated term is used by many vendors, not always with the same, or not everyone means the same. So someone just means that you buy the software and the hardware separately from them. But what we mean, and the disaggregated solution must be open, so the customer can choose the hardware and the software. So in order to have an open architecture, you need the hardware spec to be open. So any ODM can build it, so you have the option to choose. And when the hardware spec is open, any software can develop a software that can run on them. Now, this is the vision of OCP. They want to create these open architecture, so OCP was the best fit for our solution. And we want to build an open architecture that it's really open. Now, I described the Network Cloud, our solution. Now, last year in the regional summit of OCP, AT&T presented a new architecture called DDC, the distributed disaggregated chassis. Now, this DDC was based on three principles. It's based on white boxes, a solution of white boxes that are based on merchant silicon. It was, the second principle was that it disaggregated the hardware and the software. And the third one, it should be a unified system that can scale from small to large and still act as a single router. So we have these three principles, and as you can understand, it fits to our network cloud. So actually, when AT&T presented this DDC architecture to OCP, Drivenets announced that our network cloud support this DDC architecture. So it was very promising for us to have this architecture in the OCP. And today we already have 3 ODMs vendor that build these white boxes. All the 3 are members of OCP. And we have 3 vendors that build these boxes that are compliant to the DDC architecture. So as a customer, and if you are coming to the OCP, now you have the option to choose the hardware.
So you're exhibiting for the first time at an OCP Summit. Tell us what you're going to share with the attendees.
Sure. So for the OCP, we plan to have, so for the OCP, we plan to showcase a 96 terabits disaggregated router based on the DDC architecture. So it should be the first demonstration of a DDC architecture in a large scale. So for that, we work with our partners. So we work with Eufy Space, an ODM that manufactures these white boxes. And these boxes are connected with 400 gig interfaces. So we work with Credo that build these AEC cables, the active electrical cable that connect these white boxes. And using these AEC cables, you can save significantly the power consumption and the price of this interconnect cable. So we work with Eufy Space and Credo to build this 96 terabit per second disaggregate router. It's actually 24 NCP boxes for the interfaces. Part of them are with 100 gig interfaces, and the other part is with 400 gig interfaces. And we use 7 NCF boxes to create this cluster. And we bring a traffic generator in order to show these large router in action. Now, the showcase was prepared, and we plan to use to demonstrate it as part of the Experience Center of OCP. This was the original plan. Now, if you remember, 5 days before the original date of OCP, we had this cluster. It was already built and set up in Credo's offices, which are very close to the convention center in San Jose. Now, since it was canceled, we asked the engineers to go and take a video of this cluster. And so people now in the virtual summit can go to the virtual summit, to the virtual experience center, and watch this showcase in work.
Wow, that will be exciting, the virtual showcase. You know, you really were able to repurpose what you had planned for the on-site event. So this is going to be an exciting addition to the virtual summit. So can't wait to see that. So Drivenets has plenty to share with attendees at the summit. What do you hope to take away from the event?
Okay, so first we want people to see and to understand that this disaggregated chassis, disaggregated solution can scale. Now people understand that even though we started, the disaggregated solution started with a single boxes, now they have a solution that can scale, and it is backed by OCP architecture and is ready to go. Now we expect more service providers, more cloud providers to come and see these showcase in action, where they can see it working and where they can see it experience. In addition, we have our booth, and we want more and more customers to come and see this in working. Actually, in the original summit, we had a meeting plan with one of the service providers. They wanted to come and see these disaggregated solution. Since it was canceled, we had a virtual meeting with this customer, and only after 2 months, we plan to have a lab trial of this solution in his network. So we see more and more interesting in this solution, and we hope that we get more partners, that we are want to participate in this solution, in this architecture, and more customers that will understand that it can scale, it is ready, and it is backed by the OCP architecture, and it's ready to use. So this is what we hope to take from this virtual summit.
Wonderful. So where can our viewers go to learn more?
Oh, sure. So the first point is our website, www.drivenets.com. We have there a lot of details about our solution. We have white papers about the solution. We just did a white paper with ACG research about the TCO saving by using this aggregated architecture, by using white boxes showing the saving. We have blogs with many updates about what you can get from this architecture. Last year, we made few webinars with slide reading. So these webinars are available in our website, also available in the light reading archive, where you can see more details about the solution. And if you want to drill down to more technical details about the solution, on February, we were participated in the NFD, the Networking Field Day. And you can go and see these videos either on YouTube or on the Networking Field Day archive and see more details about what does it mean, this aggregated solution at high scale.
Lots of resources available. You heard it here first. And don't forget to check them out at the Virtual Summit. Well, thank you so much for your time, Ofer. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And thank you, viewers, for tuning in to OCP TV. Enjoy the virtual show.